In this video, I am discuss about the active transportation. What is this active transportation? Okay. To understand the active transportation, for example, there is a one slope, and in this slope the person is standing, and when the person has go down from the top to the bottom, there is no required any energy, or very less amount of energy is required. So this is called as passive. Yes, but when the person has go from bottom to the top, in that conditions we require very more amount of energy, and we require very much amount of energy. This is called active. This is the high concentration and low concentrations. What is this? This is the concentration gradient. I'm not say about concentration gradient, one side 5 molecule and another side 5 molecule. No, this is not a concentration gradient. Concentration gradient means that one side is high concentrated and another side is low concentrated. So when the substances move from high concentrated to low concentration is called passive process, and when the substances move from the low concentrations to high concentration, these are move against the concentration gradient, called as the active process. Okay, so this is called as active process. Active transportation. What is active transportation? Means that the movement of the substances from the low concentrations to the high concentration, this is called as active transportation. There are two types of active transportations, called as primary active transportation and another is called as the secondary active transportation. In this video I am only discuss about the primary active transportation. Okay, so to understand the primary active transportations, the one side called as extracellular fluid and in the another side called intracellular fluid, also called as cytosol. Then I'm draw the plasma membrane. This is the plasma membrane. Yes, and in this plasma membrane, this is the sodium gradient I am draw. What is the sodium gradient? Sodium concentration gradient. Sodium concentration gradient means that the concentration of sodium is very high in extracellular fluid and very low in intracellular fluid. The another side I am also draw the plasma membrane, and in this the potassium gradient. What is the potassium gradient? Potassium concentration gradient means that the concentration of potassium is very high in the intracellular fluid or cytosol, and the concentration of potassium is very low in the extracellular fluid. Yes, so active transportation means the movement of substances from low concentration to the high concentration. So this is the pump, means the carry. This is the channel protein or carrier protein, and this is called as pump. And in this pump, 3 sodium ion bind to this pump. Okay, 3 sodium ion bind from this inside the cytosol. Okay, and in the next condition, how they transport the sodium ion. So they transport with the help of this energy, and who provide energy? ATP means adenosine triphosphate is hydrolysis converted into phosphate and the ADP. When phosphate bind to this pump, it change their shape, it change their protein, channel protein, and expel out the 3 sodium ion. Okay, in the next condition, the pump already changed their shapes. So in these, 2 potassium ion bind from the site from the extracellular fluid, and when the phosphate is released, when the phosphate is released when the phosphate is actually releases. Okay, in the next condition, when the phosphate is releases, so 2 potassium ion expel out these into the cytosol, and phosphate is completely removed and it regain their original shape. So this is called as the active transportation, where the sodium and potassium enter and exit, called sodium potassium pump or sodium potassium ATPase pump. Yes, so once again revise all these things. 3 sodium ion bind to this pump, sodium potassium pump, then ATP come converted into phosphate and ADP, then original shape is changed and expel out 3 sodium ion, then 2 potassium bind and phosphate regain release and 2 potassium into the cytosol and regain their original shape.